Thank you all. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Mary Catherine. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Melvin. Thank you all for being here. Mayor Latimer, my mom, my mother-in-law. I don't know what she did with my father-in-law. I'm sure he's here somewhere. Thank you all for being here. Today I stand before you surrounded by family and friends, supporters and colleagues to announce that I will seek re-election as mayor of the city of St. Paul. All of you are equally important to me. Some are more equal than others. Molly and Aiden can't be here today, but they are here in spirit, and of course my wife Connie. They've stood by me through the early days of the last campaign and through the long nights that have kept me away from home too often. Molly has endured the embarrassment of having her dad asked to read the morning announcements at school, an offer which I accepted and then was promptly asked to reconsider. Aiden has patiently accepted that on an occasion, a rare occasion, I'm a wee bit late picking him up from hockey practice. And of course, Connie is the glue that has held us all together, making this all possible while trying to build her career in a very difficult market for real estate. I want to thank them all for standing by my side and for keeping me humble, which they do frequently. I'm proud to stand here alongside my colleagues on the council, the county board, the school board, and the state legislature. Together we formed a strong bond over the last 3 years. We worked hard to make sure that St. Paul speaks with one voice. It's a voice that proclaims loud and clear, our city is strong and it's moving forward. To my partners in labor, in education, neighborhood reinvestment, the arts, and public safety, I'm eternally grateful for the steadfast guidance through the challenges and opportunities we have faced over the last 3 years. Governing in a democracy is never easy, but the immense challenges that we faced in 2009 present obstacles few of us have ever seen. At times such as these, it is more important than ever that we gather around a single table to listen to those who challenge us to lift our sights, expand our vision, and when necessary, adjust our course. As mayor, and more importantly as a lifelong resident of the city, I know that the strength of St. Paul comes from the very people who have entrusted me to lead. As mayor, I open the doors that have long been closed to those seeking a voice in the governance of the city, both figuratively and literally. On my first day in office, we unlocked the door and said this is a place where all are welcome. All who believe in the future of our great city should be at the table. And you came. You challenged us to do more than we ever imagined that we could. And you committed to lead by lending your strength to our common effort. In 1,000 ways, the people of St. Paul keep faith with our city. Dozens of public art stewards came to the banks of Lake Phelan last fall to painstakingly remove hateful graffiti on a stone sculpture. Moms and dads give countless hours coaching not only their own children, but thousands of others in the city of St. Paul who are picking up a bat or lacing on skates for the first time. 1,200 volunteers each year enable us to operate the incomparable facilities at Como Park, and hundreds of others dedicate their free time to the libraries across the city. Others fix up houses, start businesses, form block clubs. St. Paul is a great city because all of you work so hard to make it so. I seek re-election at a time of great uncertainty. The severity of the economic crisis becomes more apparent every day. Mounting national debt, Ponzi schemes and predatory lending practices, encouraged by short-sighted political strategies, threaten the very foundation of our community. A bungled response to Katrina and inadequate responses to financial crises across the country have shaken our national confidence. One of the most significant failures is the failure to invest in our nation's cities. Our metropolitan areas drive our national economy and hold the key to for our ability to compete in this new century. I've stood with mayors across the state and country to advocate for critical investments in education and job training, infrastructure and innovation, new forms of energy, and historic character for our most beloved neighborhoods. When politicians said they supported public safety, but then took resources away from local governments that provide it, I stood with our police officers and firefighters and the people who depend upon them. When leaders proclaimed that they want Minnesota to compete in a global economy, but withheld the resources necessary to educate our children to succeed in that economy, I stood with our students and our teachers. When others called our efforts to expand economic opportunity for all and to protect the environment wasteful spending, I stood for the future of our city. What began as a whisper on the national stage 3 years ago reached a crescendo on November 4th, when millions of Americans cast their vote for change. That word means a lot of things, a lot of different things to many people. But I believe that at its core, the change that people voted for in November was for a change in tone and a new level of accountability. 3 years ago, it was clear that it was time to rebuild our community by investing in our infrastructure, including a first-class transit system anchored by light rail. Time to renew our economy by growing green industries powered by new sources of energy. Time to shift from short-term strategies to long-term solutions. And time to recommit ourselves to the age-old values of hard work and education. We were told that the city had no role in education, but we know that there's no greater responsibility of any society than to educate its children. Today we're providing early childhood education scholarships for hundreds of kids. We're extending the Learning Day with new opportunities at libraries, recreation centers, and with community partners. We've even tackled the transportation challenges that keep far too many kids away from services that are critical to their future success. 3 years ago, victims of domestic abuse had to navigate a maze of law enforcement, medical, and advocacy services for themselves and their families. Working with a broad coalition of agencies, we crossed jurisdictional lines. We sought partnerships, and we got the job done. Today, Bridges to Safety offers a warm, welcoming one-stop shop for services that help address a serious threat to the public safety of our community. For 3 years, we've fought hard to make sure Central Corridor becomes a reality. With our county and regional partners, we've fought through line item vetoes, challenging funding formulas, and disagreements among partners to move this project forward. Construction of the corridor will begin next year.